Hey guys, good morning and welcome back to Rough and Stitch Options Trading. We are a growing community focused on swings, options trading, and more importantly, learning together. So if you're new here, we welcome you to our channel. Check out our other videos, and if you enjoy the content, we welcome you to join us. Like, subscribe on our channel so that when we post a market update, you can get it in real time. We also have a Discord group where we share educational content. So if you're interested in that, shoot me a comment and I will definitely share the invite on how to join. So today I want to look at some key things here going into the market tomorrow. We have MAGS, which is Round Hill Magnificent 7 ETF, and we have the MAG 7 stocks: Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla. So looking at mags, the first thing that I really teach our students to do is when you open this chart, what do you see? The first thing, plot the support and resistance, and this is exactly what we are doing here. So support and resistance. Now, because this thing is coming down, I'm more focused on what the resistance became support, what can potentially be the next support. Now, looking at last week, last week candles did not look good to me at all because it's more of a rejection of this level. So you have the candle looking like that. You got this long wick at the top pushing further down. Now this thing closed at about closed at what? It closed at about $61. So we can say it kind of came and found some type of a support here, right here on this level. Now, going into next week, or rather not next week, going into tomorrow, I want to see how this thing is going to open. My main worry here is that if we are not having any strength in the market, considering NASDAQ, um, we may potentially open up with higher lows and lower lows. Exactly what it's been doing right here on this trend going down. You got higher lows, you got lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, right? So if we open up on Monday, the candle opens up right here, becomes that type of a candle, then you'll know for sure that this thing does not have strength at all. Again, remember, MAGS, as I mentioned earlier in the video, MAGS is an ETF providing equal weighted exposure for all the MAG 7 stocks. So if under the hood there is no strength, if under the hood all these stocks are slowly crumbling down, MAGS should indeed reflect that. It cannot be doing the opposite of that. It should reflect that because where is the strength coming from when it's an ETF for the MAG 7 and the MAG 7 are not doing well? So MAGs should definitely do the same exact thing. It should not do well. So if on Tuesday we open with a candle right here, then you would have confirmed that weakness. Now, two scenarios. At times you may find let me draw this. At times you may find, okay, so tomorrow or the next week it opens up with a candle right there, pushes, gets resistance and drops further again. Or at times that's scenario number one. Or at times it may just open with a candle right there. So those are two things that can really happen here. Another area I wanted to point out is you got this area here. This is a very a key critical level. Let me call it a key critical level. You have this resistance. It turned out to be support here, right? So it begs the question, will it turn out to be the support there? That's a question you got to ask yourself. Now, if this support fails, another area to anticipate is this area that I have in a box. You see a lot of traffic here. It swooshes through there. So if it fails this area, It begs the question again, will this be another potential area? So there are so many things or so many aspects to really look at. Let me turn on my moving averages. So you can see right here, this area that I put a question mark, you can see the 50 is approaching right there. Okay. Again, this area that I put a box, you can see the 100 is approaching there. So just a word of caution, you know, patience is a virtue. At times, just wait and see what happens, because the overall market trend is the overall market sentiment is neither bullish neither bearish. There are days there's sell off, the next day bulls have stepped in. It's really up and down. It's a chop. So I would say exercise caution. Let's wait for the levels to come, see what happens there. If you see relative strength, yes, you can go ahead and do some shares or some contracts. But if you don't see relative strength, don't hang on to things, because if there is no relative strength, it means you know the price action may turn out to be very, very bad. So we've covered mags. Let's go ahead and look at on the daily time frame. The same thing, it's right at the daily 200. So again, just be cautious, wait and see what happens. Keep in mind the areas that we mentioned. Let's keep in mind the areas that we mentioned. So right now, it's at right at the daily 200. So begs the question, what will happen right here? Is it going to hold? Is it not going to hold? Will this be the next level? Will this be the next level? We don't know, because we are not smart money. We are just retail traders. So protect your capital. There is no rush to enter in something. Just have confirmation of what you're entering into. Now, let's look at Meta. Meta is all over the place. Honestly, when you open this daily chart, Meta is just all over the place. The moving averages are all over the place. Let's go to the weekly. Because I mean, you can see here it's below the on the daily time frame, it's below the 200, below the 100, below the 50. I mean, they're all over the place. Let's look at the weekly, because to me the weekly chart paints a bit more clear, a more clear picture. So looking at Meta on the weekly time frame, just one thing that pops on my mind, we can see it was staying above the 100. It bounced on the 100. It bounced on the 100. So the question is, will Meta, if price action continues downward, will Meta bounce on the 200? We have price here. This is, let me make sure I got the number right. This is about 605, 605.24, and we have the moving average at 609.18. So it begs the question, is Meta pushing further down to hit the 100 day? Do we know that? We don't know that. The only way to know that is have patience, wait and see if it gets there. If it gets there, see what happens there. Is it holding that? Is it not holding that? Because again, like I keep saying, you have to make sure you keep in mind the overall market sentiment. Now, Meta, the level that I'm watching out for is this 605, 609. See what happens there, because when we break there, oi, this is going to be very bloody. Because the next level I see is right here. Let me just draw a box. It's a bit. The next level I see is right here. That's the next level I see here. Based on this resistance, you got this peekaboo resistance. We got a lot of traffic. These candles right here. Guys, be cautious about these candles right here. If you end up entering in Meta, be cautious about these candles, because at times smart money tends to push prices lower to pick up stop losses and then revert the prices back up. That is from what I've seen on the stock market. So let's wait and see if Meta holds this area, yes or no. Then another area to watch out for is right underneath here because we have a lot of buying and selling going on in this area. So yeah, let's watch out and see what happens at that level coming to into the next this week's trading session. Amazon got hammered and hammered and hammered. At some point Amazon was doing well. It bounced off the 100 real nice. It tried. Now you see, when you compare this with Meta, here is this is what I want you guys to see. This right here, let's make it fun. This right here, okay, that is what I want you guys to see. And why I keep saying it's very important to exercise caution when it comes to moving averages. You may see it comes like, let's highlight this. This one bounced right there. It pretended to bounce right on this candle. Look what happened on the next week. It was a higher low candle. Breaking this, breaking the 100, who knows, could be potentially moving into this box right here where we see a lot of buying and selling, and we have these candles. Remember these candles from the previous correction? That's why I said in Meta, guys, be cautious about these candles right here. Be cautious about these candles because look at the fate of Amazon. It's not what I wanted to do. Look at Amazon's fate and tell me, isn't this very similar to what's going on with Amazon? So Amazon either holds this area because it broke the 100-day, or that's on the weekly time frame. It broke this. We are approaching, we have a gap here. It may potentially fill that or even move lower, probably pick up some few orders in here. Probably some smart money fella had orders set for this price inside this box. Pick up these orders. Again, we have the 200 down here. Anyway, um one step at a time. Let's focus on this level right here. Will it hold? If it doesn't hold that level, no, this may potentially be the next stop for Amazon. Same as Meta. That's why I'm saying be cautious. Meta may pull the same stunt as Amazon right here. And if it doesn't hold, it's going to push prices lower. Let's look at the daily. Daily, yep, gap down, gap down. You can see all the moving averages are up. You had a doji here close. So it's a fight between the bulls and the bears. It's a fight right there. Who's going to hold? I mean, a bull and a bear, you want to be in between that? Probably not. So let's wait and see what happens going into uh Tuesday. So we got Amazon covered. Key areas right here, else right here. That's a question mark if it's gonna go in there, yes or no. Microsoft, the same fate. The same fate that I keep saying. At a moving average, it may hold, it may not hold. That is the same thing you see here, and why I keep saying again, exercise caution, because if you see it happening on other stocks, don't say it may not happen. Have the idea in mind that this thing may fail at this moving average. Look at Microsoft, same concept as Amazon, as Meta. Meta is right here. Amazon failed, Microsoft failed. Look at that classic rejection candle. Let's make that fun. You got a classic rejection candle right there. Now, where is Microsoft heading? I know there are some people out there who already bought Microsoft shares and bought Microsoft calls. Guys, remember, patience, patience. On the first dip, I'm pretty sure there's some people out there who bought right here. They pumped, they got stopped right here. This thing is coming back down. Now, guys, remember, Microsoft is ranging in a gap. This is a gap from earnings. This was from 30th of April 2025. It had a gap right here and it's still playing in that gap. Smart money is still picking up people in this gap. Now, My concern is, or two things that I want to put on the table is Microsoft going to hold this area right here? Remember, this is the gap that we are in. This is the gap that we are right in. Is Microsoft going to hold that area? Yes. If yes, then that's good. We can forget about this micro gap that is right here at about 372 to 366. Yeah, to about, yeah, 366. We can forget about that. If Microsoft holds here, we can forget about this. But if it becomes sketchy, if it continues to be as sketchy as it is, then guys, keep in mind there is a gap right here that Microsoft can push further low, pick up the orders right there, and then Microsoft can start its way up to the hill. All right, Goog. Let's look at Goog. Goog, momentum is completely kaput. Goog has a lot of levels it needs to go and test. It really has a lot of levels it really needs to go and test. The 50 on the weekly time frame, let me even do this on the daily time frame. We got the 100. It's approaching the 100 at 290, 295, about 295.82, and we have a key area of interest right here. Same area, about 292, 295. We got that area there. Now, will it hold? Is it going to undergo the same fate as the others? Yes or no? You don't know. You're not smart money. The only way you can do that is by being patient and see what happens at these moving averages. So far, we've seen a lot of them. They have broke the key moving averages. Okay, that is what we've seen so far. Now, Goog, I mean, if you'd got into puts right at the top, then you're really good. You've made very good money out of this. If you're trying to get into calls, I would say just hang on, hang on. Let We don't know how this thing is going to perform if the market sentiment turns bearish. We don't know how Goog or Goog L is going to perform. So just be careful about that. Now, let's wait and see what happens at the 100. If it fails the 100, you got this other level, 256, and then you have the 200-day approaching right about here at 242. So guys, that's about it. I want to wrap up this video and then I'll do a quick part two. And on the part two, I'm going to do a review of Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla. So guys, thank you so much for watching this, and I'll catch you on part two here shortly. Thank you. Bye.